So it is that we believe that in dealing with the past, it's important not to just pick one crime or one period, but as we are very burdened with violent 20th century history, not just in Croatia, but in all post-Yugoslav countries, it's recommended to look at whole 20th century. All the First World War is a bit far away, and contemporaries are not alive anymore. So we choose to really concentrate on dealing with the past of Second World War, period of political violence in socialist Yugoslavia, and the 90s, the wars of 90s. But what we discovered is that it's very difficult to present what you do, even if you put this broader context, because for ones out there, the ones who still don't listen and are not about to start listening, and why the hell would they listen to human rights organization? It is that what is catching their attention is something what they find is wrong about what you do. And this kind of contextualizing and dealing with different periods, trying to take in account different victims, either soldiers or civilian victims, survivors of gross human rights violations, they would come back to their narration, which is mostly national or nationalistic, in which they will attend only to the group which is their group. It can be the ideological group, you know, this or that side in the Second World War, which linked with different ideologies, not just with the fact who was of which nationality, and it might be linked to the victims of different nationalities. So we speak for the more complex dealing with the past, which is dealing with the Second World War, its aftermath in the 90s, and it's that whatever we do, we try to cover as large span as possible. It's not always possible to do research in that sense, and in human losses, we mostly document what happened to killed and missing during the 90s in cooperation with our partner organizations from Bosnia and Herzegovina, Serbia and Kosovo. But in personal memories, we actually have advantage of recording living contemporaries. So we record personal memories of everyone who's interested and is still around. So is that this presentation will be based on what we try to do through personal memories and oral history. We started in 2006 and gradually built collection. We started with audio interviews and then added some videos and discovered that that's very convincing, that it speaks to people, that it matters to the narrators, but that it matters also to their families and their communities. And gradually we built the collection, which is now largely published. I'll show you a bit later. So is that the aim was really to record the mosaic of memories in which not just survivors, but basically protagonists have been speaking, and there we have taken certain risk. So is that we didn't record only survivors of violence. We recorded also veterans. We basically recorded people who have been willing to speak, or we felt they have interesting story to share. And in the moment of publishing, I have to say that we have been quite nervous, thinking what the reactions will be, because it could have happened that some of the victims would say, but look, he's from the side of perpetrators. Why did you record him? But we made very clear on the beginning that this is a large collection, that we are taping interviews with people from different sides, so there they are. But I would say that part of the fact related to this collection is that it's so broad that we have not experienced a lot of attacks also because it's not so often visited. You know, you can collect even so many interviews, and then the question remains how many people will actually spend some time to look at. Interviews are long, 1 hour and more. The collection is easy to search, but since 2013 when we published it, we invest major effort in trying to eventually do something with collection. Let's hope that this will open. Yes, it opened. So you see here it's Croatian memories collection. It's very easy to search. So you see that you have here a video archive. It's highly searchable. You can, for example, put in military operation Storm, and then you will get all the interviews which mention Storm. With each person you have her or his short story when she was born, major facts of her life. So is that the ones who are here are translated in English, so they're used internationally. Or they're not used as often as we hope they will be used, or they're not used often enough to be severely attacked because of that. They are severely attacked because of other things. So the other things which we do are eventually also in the first phase related to presentation of these interviews. We often work with them in the places where we do something else, because we monitor all war crimes trials. We eventually monitor some reparation trials which are very unsuccessful in Croatia. As a matter of fact, the position of civilian victims in all post-Yugoslav countries, it's very hard, and the rights are not recognized with some exceptions, but they have not enough time to go in all the details. The other thing which we do, and we have complementary collections on war crimes trials on our web. If you speak a language, you'll find 309 cases on war crimes trials, and in our information system there is a huge collection of documents and 5,906 of interviews and statements of family members on human losses and missing persons. These results are something for what we get much more attacked. So the statements on war crimes trials and human losses research are much more exposed in the public, one minute. And we also have documentation on human rights organizations, because we believe that resistance is very important. We have some education work, quite a bit of sharing of experience with curators from different museums. So far, 3 summer schools. In this fall, we will open the Virtual Resistance Museum with some new interviews which are not yet published. It's an international collection, and we believe it's very important to show the resistance through the 20th century and to develop new education tools on resistance, because it's very important to resist not just repression, but also dominant narrations and patriarchal system. And there are some things which we also develop, documentary films, theater project which is not yet realized, but someday will be maybe. We hope that we'll be able to organize exhibition on fate of refugees. We hope to have it in Zagreb, Istanbul, and Berlin, maybe someday. And we really believe that strengthening international cooperation between institutions working on these issues is very important, because the standards on international level are so poor and should be improved. And we can contribute maybe to improve them a bit and make sure that our governments observe a bit more and respect a bit more human rights. Thank you.